$10 dinner, creamy cauliflower pasta.
You can buy a head of cauliflower for like $3, leave it in your fridge, cook it up when there's nothing else left to cook, which is what I did, because I don't even know why I'm cooking. I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I the chef in this house? I got better things to do. I do a terrible job of this, but you know what? It still ends up being pretty fucking delicious.
You got to prepare the breadcrumbs for this recipe, which once upon a time would have been enough to just scare me away from it, but it's really easy. I used a Trader Joe's dinner roll and I ground it up in my Cuisinart, and then I dumped it in a pan with some olive oil and sauteed it until it was brown. And then I added some grated Parmesan cheese, maybe like half a cup, and mixed that around too. The recipe says that by the time you're done with this process, it should be about the consistency of granola. Look at that. That looks kind of like granola. Then just break your cauliflower up into bite-sized florets. I start by quartering the cauliflower, and then I just remove the stem with a knife. And you can see here, I break it up with my hand. I like to be sure that the pieces of the cauliflower are small and about even so that they can be cooked all the way through. A thoroughly cooked cauliflower is something of a marvel. A not thoroughly cooked cauliflower is the opposite. I mean, if it's not well cooked, go ahead. Make a damn house out of it. You can see I didn't have enough olive oil, so I supplemented with some sunflower oil. Not ideal, but it worked out. And then you just heat it over medium-high heat for 10 to 15 minutes. You basically want this cauliflower to get kind of caramelized. You can see the steam coming off it. I forgot that this recipe calls for a shallot, so I chopped up some white onion and added it a little late in the game. But it's fine. It doesn't really matter. Onion is very important to virtually every recipe, but I added it later. This recipe requires a lot of cooking, and the onion got cooked plenty. Then just add some cream. The recipe calls for a cup of cream. I just put whatever I could find in my fridge and thought it would be fine. Let me tell you, it was not fine. Nevertheless, I persisted. Add the zest of 2 lemons stolen from your neighbor's tree and mix. I tried to then just add the pasta, and it might have worked if I had had some leftover pasta water, but I emptied the pasta without saving some pasta water first. This is a major mistake. Thankfully, I stumbled across some extra cream and added that to the sauce, and while it was cooking, I actually made some pasta water using some leftover pasta and some hot water, and just kind of let it sit there for a while, mixing it together, and then I added that to the sauce as well. Add a half cup of Parmesan cheese sprinkled on top and mix it together, and then just top with those crumbly granola-like breadcrumbs you made earlier in the recipe, and you are good to go.